America has no chill on Christmas. The Fat Electrician holiday special. A little out of season, little late to this. That being said, I wanted to make sure that I got around to this. Wanted to make sure to give this video the respect that it absolutely deserves. And figure I'd hit that tail end of that, if you will.
Hi, welcome to my Christmas special that I never planned on making because, well, it's Christmas and I have plans. Or I had plans, rather. Unfortunately, it's been snowing for the last 4 days where I live, and it is currently negative 11 degrees outside. For my international viewers, that's actually freedom units, not commie units. So I decided to make a Christmas video, and for some reason, people keep asking me to make a video about the Truce of 1914. You know...
Oh, yes. Was this the Christmas truce in World War I? Is this the one? I see that German officer helmet. The spike is very aesthetic, but very dated. I wonder if that... I don't think that could come back in Modern Warfare. I don't think it's just official. It's identifiable. It's iconic, if you will. I don't think that it could come back in a modern battlefield setting.
Oh, that time during World War I where the Germans and the British and the French all threw down their weapons and celebrated Christmas in the middle of no man's land and played soccer or did whatever Europeans do. And that was...
As far as I'm aware, the Christmas that followed that was one of the most tragic and horrific Christmases in modern history. Like, yes, we did have the Christmas truce of that. Yeah, we absolutely did. Sapton has a very, very good song about on it. And the following one was that just never happened again. The following one was especially bloody.
Would be a great video. The only problem is America's not involved. So, no. I mean, obviously America's not involved. If they were, the war would have been over. So I decided to consult the interwebs to find the most significant moments in American military history, looking for that ultra heartwarming human moment. And I'm just going to level with you. I'm not sure that it... Because when you Google the U.S. military and Christmas, apparently America goes hard. Like, America has no chill on Christmas whatsoever. So this heartwarming Christmas video is now officially changing to the top 4 times that America lost their chill on Christmas. But first, if you're...
I think that like that was an old YouTube thing, right? We had old JonTron videos, old Peanut Butter Gamer videos, at least in the spheres that I was in, right? Top 10s used to be such a meta thing. And I wonder if we'll see a resurgence of that, at least in the circles that I'm in. I mean, we've moved beyond top 10s for a while now. I mean, it might be seeing its rounds again. Top 10 clips of, 2024, January 2024, something like that. I could see that doing something right in the algorithm. It's very interesting, and I'm curious to see his spin on this formula, actually.
If you're currently watching this in the bathroom while you're hiding from your family, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. And also, if you just stole Grand Thumb's intro, go ahead and have a drink.
What?
For the YouTube manual reviewer, that was apple juice.
See, that was totally apple juice. You could totally see it. This was the amber. I love that he is also commenting about the manual reviews because wow, demonetization could be rough. I'm gonna have to actually have this manual reviewed, aren't I? Yeah, it's apple juice. See, even he by his own admission says it's apple juice. It's fine. Don't worry about it, YouTube manual reviewer. It's all Gucci. It's all Gucci. Don't worry about it. Also, I hope you're getting paid enough and hope you're having a good day.
I promise. Drinking alcohol isn't friendly to advertisers. Sorry, I had to...
Man, they sure do like advertising to me, though. You know how many times I get, like, Bush's, Coors, Smirnoff even? I get a lot of Smirnoff, actually, for some reason. I don't drink. They hate alcohol and content, but they love advertising it. Figure me that one out, right? YouTube manual reviewer, right? If you got to do it from a private email, I just want to know. What's the deal? I need to know. I'm curious. What's the duality here? Why? I'm not mad. I just want to know.
To change my hat. Fat and I'm already getting sweaty. Anyways, top 4 times America lost their chill on Christmas, going in chronological order. Starting off in 1776 with George Washington crossing the Delaware. That super ultra heartwarming human moment when the soon-to-be president of the United States of America crossed a frozen river on Christmas to try to murder the enemy in their sleep. Gotta set
I heard about this. I can't remember who they were. It wasn't the British, if I remember correctly. Oh my god, this was a moment, though.
The tone right out of the gate. Anyways, if you don't know, they ambushed about 1,000 Hessian soldiers. Hessians were essentially German mercenaries that were fighting for the British. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you that America was fighting Germans before America was even a thing. I think my high school English teacher would have called that foreshadowing, whatever that is. Anyways, the Hessians were actually caught so off guard that there were very few casualties on both sides. The Hessians only had 22 men killed and the Americans only lost 2 men. The remaining Hessians were then taken as prisoners of war, and I guess that's kind of heartwarming. Moving on to number 2, we have the 1814 Treaty of Ghent. This is the treaty that would bring an end to the War of 1812, which, if you don't know, is basically the Revolutionary War Part 2. And that treaty...
Well, and so that's the thing I actually learned recently. Like, this is... Thank you, Twitch chat. Apparently, there's 2 War of 1812s, where you have what America knows as the War of 1812, right? U.S. v. Canada, that kind of thing, where we have the War of 1812 over in across the pond, so to speak, across the Atlantic, right? I hear that was part of Napoleon's campaign or something like that, which is, it's interesting, and also why I'm like, one, educate yourself, because there's so much cool stuff that you can learn. Two, educate yourself because, oh, look, you can be that one person that's like, actually, there were 2 War of 1812s. Or 3, even if, say I'm off base on this, say, actually, Kip, this was, yes, technically in that era, but it's not officially called the War of 1812 over here, right? At least you know that, and you can inform us. I will never not push educating yourself, because there's so much cool stuff to learn in a world that is so bogged down by stupid prank videos. Oh, it's just a prank, bro, and perfectly monetizable and advertiser friendly. No, I'm not angry. Okay, yes, I'm angry.
Treaty was obviously signed on Christmas Day of 1814. However, nobody seemed to tell Andrew Jackson that, because like 3 weeks later on January 8th, 1815, he would go toe-to-toe with the British Navy at the Battle of New Orleans and win, and this is considered to be America's greatest naval victory over the British Navy. And then I guess the treaty just like went into effect after that. They were just like, oopsies, whatever. Moving on to number 2, we have the first Battle of Fort Fisher in 1864. Now, if you don't know 1864, that puts us in the middle of the Civil War. You know, that one time America decided to have a scrimmage game against itself before it decided to only play away games for the next 200 years? Yeah, that. Anyways, Fort Fisher was held by the Confederates, and on Christmas Eve, the Union decided to pack a ship full of explosives, try to float it up next to the fort, and then blow it up. That failed miserably, and ultimately all it did was alert the Confederates that the Union was there. Then on Christmas morning, they decided to bombard the fort with artillery. That also failed. The Union ended up losing that battle. However, there would be a second battle for Fort Fisher in 1865, where the Union would win, and then 3 months later, the Civil War would be over. And moving on to number 4, Operation Linebacker 2 during the Vietnam War. Basically, in 1972, America was pretty over the whole Vietnam War thing.
Yeah, I think that's part of why you don't hear Vietnam talked about, right? I mean, as far as I'm aware, Vietnam vets came home and they were just shunned. Like, people did not want to talk. And that, it's, one, I'd argue, a very, very crappy attitude. Two, I mean, it's, you can't necessarily control where you're going to get deployed to. You can't control a lot of these facts. And people that go into the military for a number of different reasons. Chief among them, I'd argue, is they want to make a difference in the world. They want to, in some capacity, be able to do something, right? Otherwise, they'd be a politician sitting all day and like, oh, well, I guess we'll get to this in 2 months, and I guess we'll vote on it then. And then, it ends up being no votes for the next, several days. And it's like, imagine if I did this, working fast food, right? If I just said, no, I'm not going to make you your burger. Give me 20 minutes. I'd be out. I'd be fired. I mean, I'm just like, I don't know. Anyways, but no, Vietnam vets got treated very, very horribly, and it was really outside of their control. And I don't really hear a lot from Vietnam. So whenever I hear about Vietnam War, the Korean War as well, I want to make sure that I'm doing my best to educate myself on the subjects and operations and battles therein.
So on December 18th, they decided they were going to conduct large-scale bombing raids, primarily with B-52s, aka the Buff, aka the Big Ugly Fat Fuck. They then proceeded to bomb the North Vietnamese day and night non-stop from December 18th all the way up until Christmas Day, at which point there was a ceasefire in honor of Christmas and to give the North Vietnamese an opportunity to sign a peace treaty. The Vietnamese declined, to which America responded, bet, beatings will continue until morale improves. They then continued to bomb non-stop the 26th, 27th, 28th, and then on the 29th, they decided in a single bombing run they were going to send 60 B-52s all at once. And I think we can all agree 60 B-52s is a fucking lot. And the North Vietnamese did it.
I mean, at that point, it just exceeds the operation. That is to send a message at that point.
Agree, because by the time the 60th and final B-52 had landed back at base, the North Vietnamese had already gotten hold of America and said that they would enter peace talks. That treaty was then signed in January, bringing an end to America's involvement in the Vietnam War. And that 12-day bombing run was then affectionately given the nickname the 12 Days of Christmas. So, yeah, there you have it. The top 4 times America lost their chill on Christmas, and, happy Christmas or Merry whatever the fuck you celebrate. Thanks for watching. Go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
I love it. This was very short, very informative, very snappy. I actually really loved it. You can also start to see, I like going back to older content sometimes, because you can start to see the modern style start to come out a little bit more, right? How early Fat Electrician TikTok style videos into this, into kind of this medium style, into what we're getting now. It's been very, very interesting to say the least. And I always like going back and seeing the evolution of how people's styles evolve. Might help me with my own. But this was very interesting. Thank you, Fat Electrician, for this. And I know it's a little bit out of holiday season. whatever you celebrate, Christmas, holiday, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Hope you had a good one this year. And if you had to deal with family, hopefully you are able to recover from dealing with family. As I know, not a lot of people like to deal with their family over the holidays, or they can be overbearing, etc. And hope you had a good one. If you did serve in the military in really modern day Vietnam, Korea, etc., thank you for all that you do. It is very undersaid nowadays, and I feel people just don't have the respect for veterans that they need to be having. So I wanted to do my part, showcase that. And if you haven't checked out the Fat Electrician, go ahead and check out the Fat Electrician. He puts out a lot of amazing content. Definitely go check him out. And I will see you all in the next one.